There are times in life when you suffer from painful memories of the past. That memory is commonly called trauma, but it does not disappear easily because it is deeply imprinted in the unconscious. When you watch Rambo movies, you can often see the main character suffering from the trauma of the Vietnam War. Trauma refers to a memory deeply imprinted in the unconscious through war, disastrous accidents, or personal shock. Being imprinted in the unconscious like this draws such a reality into life. Therefore, you can face a similar situation again. Thus, these memories must be rooted out as soon as possible. As I said before, there are about 3 ways to be imprinted on the unconscious. The first is shock, the second is repetition, and the third is faith. Trauma corresponds to the first shock. In our lives, we sometimes encounter shocking situations. For example, wars and accidents are typical. Among soldiers who have experienced wars in the Vietnam War or the Korean War, there are many cases where the extreme shock of war is trauma and they cannot live properly. Also, people who survived at the scene of a terrible fire. People who survived a horrific car accident or plane accident. People who experienced unexpected and shocking accidents of their families all suffer severe trauma from the shock. The emotional wounds that come to mind frequently, even in dreams or in real life, do not heal easily. This is because it is so deeply imprinted in the unconscious. However, is there a way to immediately uproot such trauma? There is. It's very simple. It's so simple that it's not easy to believe. It is to never avoid the memory of the trauma that comes to mind, but to face and accept it as it is. It comes more often because it is so painful that it avoids or suppresses it. Accept the pain as it is, take care of it and love it. Contemplating and hugging solves the problem. When we contemplate darkness with wake consciousness, that darkness is immediately transformed into light. This is the alchemy of great love. So if you have any thoughts that bother you or want to get rid of them, don't turn away or avoid them anymore. Even if it's painful, understand the thinking and face it. So uproot it, and it will no longer bother you. There is something we must know in this process. It is the fact that it is the ego in our mind that feels pain. By no means the life, our essence, feels pain. So we have the pain of the heart, and the wake consciousness that watches the pain. And no matter how painful our hearts are, the consciousness that watches it can stay awake. The consciousness to contemplate the pain, that is life, our unchanging essence. If we compare this to a play, I-ego is a play performed on the stage, and our essence, the waking consciousness, is the audience. No matter how scary a scene is being performed on the stage now, the audience can just casually contemplate as an observer. There may be some audiences who mistake the event taking place on the stage for reality and feel afraid or even scream as if they are characters of the event, but in fact, the audience does not have to feel any fear because they are separate beings from the stage. Likewise, life, our essence, can casually contemplate our heartache as an observer like an audience. Although pain is felt while watching the pain does not last very long. If we understand this concept of I-ego and contemplate our own mind, we can heal ourselves from any pain in the heart. Because understanding is love. Love embraces everything and melts all pain. Our essence, life, is a waking consciousness. And if it becomes an observer and understands and watches heartache caused by ego, the pain disappears as if the cancer is melted away by a laser. This is the great power of love.